So when we're creating our 1099 miscellaneous or our 1099 NEC, how do we know what payments we have to exclude? Certain software, if you put debit in the check number field when you're entering a bank account, that it'll automatically exclude debit transactions. Anything that's set up on the chart of accounts as a credit card will automatically be excluded. PayPal, as long as it's not friends and family, should be excluded if you've got somebody sending PayPal payments to contractors and using friends and family. Just know that those payments need to be included as cash or cash equivalent. Venmo business, not Venmo personal. Again, it's the same thing with PayPal and Venmo. If it's a personal, that's not being, there's no 1099K being issued. I know there's been a lot of controversy about that, but that is one of the things that is still going to happen. It's just not going to happen immediately. Some ACH payments, and this is where you're really going to have to rely on the person that you're paying to know what their processor is going to do. I use Ignition, and Ignition sends me a 1099K for all of my ACH transactions. In the resources, I have added a link to the FAQ that Ignition has, and where they say that they issue a 1099K for ACH transactions. And, personally, I'm going to include ACH transactions for everybody unless I have a vendor tell me that they're using a processor that includes ACH payments. But sometimes if you know that certain vendors or certain payment processors include ACH on their 1099K, and you can tell who the payment processor is on the bank statement, you can exclude those payments. But it's the figuring all that stuff out is definitely going to be time consuming. So my recommendation is include ACH payments unless you're told by the vendor not to include them, or unless you know that somebody is being paid through Ignition. Because overstating revenue when it's included on a 1099K, like some businesses don't get money any other way than through a merchant account. So if you pay somebody, say a smaller amount, like $1,000, and you send them a 1099 NEC, but their processor is sending them a 1099K for 100% of their annual revenue, then that 1099 NEC just overstated their reported income to the IRS by $1,000. And there are a couple of different ways that a business can fix that. The easiest way is to file a corrected 1099 NEC, and I'll talk about filing corrections on a future slide. But I've never been in the camp of when in doubt, send it out. Though that phrase is hard for me to say. It makes me cringe, because when in doubt, ask questions or read the rules. And there are some times when you still really don't know. And if you can't determine whether or not to send the 1099, figure out what instruction bullet point on the 1099 instructions, or the IRS website, or a reputable source. Find something that you can use as a defense in the event that you got it wrong, and say, this is why I did it this way. You don't even have to get it wrong. I said that not correctly. In the event that the IRS questions something, because the IRS gets it wrong a lot when they're questioning things, but in the event that something gets questioned, the client gets a notice or a possible penalty, have something that's going to back up why you did what you did. And that is definitely something that a lot of people have to think about. And lately, I've noticed a lot of people don't want to think very hard about things. And I think that might be a sign of overwhelm, where it's just like, I just can't. I have one more decision to make for the rest of the day, and it's 2:00. I can't make this decision. It's called decisional fatigue. And make sure you've got people that you can use as a sounding board to ask the tough questions.